Hey, hey, it's Berta J, and you're back in my kitchen with me today. One of you said something about the beans in my cornbread recipe video, and I didn't correct you because I wanted to surprise you today. The beans in that video really are the beans we're going to be making today, and it was just I don't know, a whim. I just started mixing things together, and when I finished, I came up with this recipe. It was done and it was delicious. And so I said, I will have to share this with my viewers. I hope you like it as much as I do. I call it Berta Beans 2 because you only need 2 cans of beans. You first start with 1 cup of water into a saucepan, and you're going to add, I've already measured it out because this is the last of it, a 1/2 teaspoon of my Seitenbacher veggie broth. And then once it's in there, I put it on the stove and bring it to the boil. The veggie broth water is all boiling, as you can see all this steam. And to this, I will add the mini sweet peppers. Yes, it actually is equal to 1/4 cup. And I just chose red and yellow because I like them, but they also have orange in the package. You could use that as well. And they usually come in a pound. They usually come in a bag of about 3 pounds. Sometimes you can find a 1 pound bag. They're small peppers. So I chopped them up and used 1/4 cup. The second thing is, this is 1/2 medium onion. You could use 1 small onion, but just chop it up. It doesn't have to be fine, but just chop it. For those of you who don't cook a lot, in order for this recipe to turn out the way it's going to turn out at the end, that you have to put everything in the order that I do, you don't have to. You can put it in, like I could have put the onions in first, and then I could have put the peppers in. It's just that it's easier because I wrote my recipe down. So it'll work for me, and it'll work for you too. But just know that if you put in onions first and then you put in the peppers, it'll still work, okay? The next one is 1 stalk of celery that's chopped, and that goes in. This is 1/2 cup of shredded carrot that I keep in the refrigerator for my salads. But I decided the day that I came up with this recipe that I wanted some carrots in there, so I throw them in. This is 1/2 cup. Now this goes back on the stove, and we're going to cook it for about 3 minutes. After you've put all of your cut up vegetables into your pan and you put it back on the stove, what you need to do is to bring everything to a boil again and then cook it for 3 minutes. Okay? So it's cooked for 3 minutes, and this is what it'll look like. You'll see the onions and celery and all of that is all done. You almost have like a little vegetable soup. You want to see more? No. Okay. Next thing is you put in your spices. This is 1 teaspoon of marjoram, 1/2 teaspoon of granulated onion, 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic, and I did 7 turns of my pepper mill, and that's about, I tried to measure it, it's just so small, it's less than a smidgen, but 7 turns is enough. And just stir that up. Stir all your spices in. And then you're going to add beans. I'm using 2 of my favorite beans, which are dark kidney beans and some black-eyed peas. These have been drained and rinsed. These I just drained because there's not much salt in them. And here they are. Now, I want to just mention also that whatever kind of bean is your favorite, if you hate black-eyed peas, don't use them. Use whatever you like. You'd rather, whatever bean you want, just use 2 cans of it, okay? This is what I like. And it's kidney beans and black-eyed peas. It is a wonderful combination. So I'm going to put that in. And the very last thing that goes in to give it a little bit of sweetness is 1/2 cup of frozen corn. Now, this is going to have to cook a little bit longer than the vegetables and the broth because that corn is frozen and the beans need to be warmed through. So I gave it about 5 minutes. but stir it up well first and then put it back on the stove to boil a little bit and then turn it down, because you only need 5 minutes worth of cooking so that everything is heated through. These are already cooked. Your corn is already cooked, and now your vegetables that you had chopped up before, the celery, peppers, and so forth, that's all cooked. So now you're stirring it up. I'm going to put it back on the stove again, 5 minutes, okay? So we've cooked our beans. After we put the beans and corn in, you bring it up to the boil again, and then you cook it for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, this is what you have. The corn is not frozen anymore, the beans are cooked, and your veggies are cooked. And these are very good beans. So, for our little meal here, I've made some kale and collards, nice little cruciferous mix, and I'm going to put the beans in it. Good idea to eat beans all the time, every day if you can. So I was going to take a little taste just to make sure they taste good. Hot but not too hot. Very nice flavor. You will love these beans, I'm telling you. If you like beans, you will like these. This is another thing that you could have with the caramelized onion. For now, that's it. Your Berta beans, two, not three, 2. And let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell so that you will get each one of the new videos when they're uploaded. Leave comments below if you have any, after you've made them or you want to try them. It's a lot of veggies in there and you'll really enjoy it, I think. Okay? So until next time, bye for now.